black and white and honest conversation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're welcoming back Brock and Ellis after a couple of days off. Good to see you, my friend. We sent out prayers to you and your family, and we're
Thank
glad
you. Much
you're back here.
appreciated, Mark.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've known each other for many, many years, and that I mean that's the least I could do. Um, yeah, it's never easy, losing a loved one. So, and we could touch on it a little bit at the end of the show. In the meantime, let's get right into it. The democracy continues to decay. Uh, this President Trump continues to try to drag us into, I guess we could call it moral decay, because as long as the Epstein files are around, Brock, like we are in moral decay, right? The GOP now stands for guardians of pedophiles. I mean, what else could it be? And then whenever the Epstein files start getting some attention, here we go with a wag the dog situation, right? And this time, he's gone too fucking far. This racist meme of President and Michelle Obama is more disgusting, and I don't give a fuck who posted it. It's on your Truth Social account, Mr. fucking fake ass stolen election president. Brock, what say you about the racist meme scandal?
So many aspects to it are just the degradation of America and
Oh,
Trump's attempt because he feels his support slipping away, the
right.
need to really play to the base at worst instincts of his followers to keep them in the boat, to remind them, quote, he's one of them and it's us versus them. So he went out to the extreme. Everything about the explanation was false and bullshit.
Yep. Yep.
The and then to the quote where, obviously he can never apologize or admit any fault. So to say that he hadn't made a mistake, but then to follow that with, but he hadn't looked at the whole thing.
Right.
So that made it okay, but you've basically then just defined what a mistake is. So, like, the comments didn't come together, and Carolyn Levitt trying to explain it away was embarrassing. Um, so he's just, I guess there was a bunch of people in MAGA land who enjoyed it, and everyone else in America was just like, this is just disgusting. It's not where we need to be going. It's just, it is kind of who we are, or a portion of us is. So, but even some Republicans couldn't stomach this one, right? Tim Scott had to say something. It was too much for Tim Scott, among others. Not enough others. It should have been
Right. Should have been all
100%
the others.
roundly,
Right.
criticized, but some of them are so wimpy and soft in Trump's pocket that they can't even criticize this. But yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. The Epstein files were bubbling up. Trump needed something to get us talking about something else. And
Yep.
racism is his first and easiest diversion.
Yeah.
And this was just a really, bad and disgusting and in the end embarrassing one for him. And I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it gained him any additional supporters. And I think it was a losing play in what is now a downward cycle for him. And
Yep.
he's scrambling to get approval again, to be liked again by more
Right.
people. And he
Yeah.
just doesn't know how to do it because he's a horrendous person.
Yeah. And he's in such mental decline. Um, I don't think I don't think he really fully understands the magnitude of what he did, because he's in such bad shape, mentally, um, and can't process anything. I mean, he can't even keep a sentence together anymore. He's all over the fucking place if you watch him. He's talking about sitting on Air Force One, looking out the window, watching out for the missiles and the enemies. What the fuck are you talking about? What missiles? What enemies? Have people been shooting at Air Force One and we just missed it? I mean, they carry a press pool, so you would think they could look out the window as well if missiles were actually flying by. So, like at what point do we demand change? The Congressional Black Caucus is livid, demanded an apology. Of course, he doesn't care.
Yeah, okay, they ain't getting that.
No. And he wants to, he doesn't want to reach across the aisle. He doesn't want to work with anyone else. And what I don't understand is how is MAGA winning with such a small sliver of America on board with this shit? Right? Like, it's got to be less than 30%. Say, yeah, a racist meme of President Michelle Obama in the jungle, pictured as apes, has to be out of bounds.
I mean, we gave them all the levers of power, even as like a minority party, right? They have the Senate. Somehow, the Republicans in Congress usually still vote in lockstep and pass shit. Obviously, the Supreme Court is so far right. They're as racist as fucking Trump is.
Right.
So that's how it's happened. It's really like, how do we unwind it? Or maybe we've started to little by little, but we got to go hard at these. I think it's the congressmen are the most vulnerable. So many of them are resigning, right? Another couple Republican congressmen. I guess they're not resigning, but they're announcing that they're not running, right?
Run again.
Because they know they can't win. They don't want to put themselves through it, but they don't have the moral fortitude to actually go against Trump in the interim.
Right.
Maybe we'll get a handful of them. It's only going to take 2 or 3, right? If I see Mike fucking Lawler go out and say more shit, I mean, he said something against Trump, but he'll never vote the other way, right?
Nope.
He's trying to have it both ways. He's like, to me, the poster child that I follow of that classic spineless Republican who will give lip service but never act in a way that diminishes Trump's power. Maybe if we just keep putting more pressure on him, shouting it down at town halls, that a few of them will crack, and Congress maybe puts a little bit of a check on what they know is the Mad King. We'll touch on this a little later, but like when you're around dementia, you just know it. Like
Right.
you know the people around Trump absolutely know that he's in severe mental decline and does not have a grasp on reality. And they're trying to hide it so that they can get their agenda pushed forward or they can keep their power. But
Right.
it's glaringly obvious.
Right. No doubt. The funniest thing I saw was Tim Scott, right? The only black Republican senator, writing on his social media, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. And then Pete Ricketts, rather, from Nebraska wrote, the White House, here it is. Even if it was a Lion King meme, a reasonable person sees the racist context to this. You think?
The fucking Lion King argument is a fraud. But
It's borderline racist itself.
the Tim Scott comment, I hadn't seen it. It just strikes me as funny as soon as I hear it. It's like, oh, he's doing the thoughts and prayers
Right.
on the comment. Like, oh, I'm praying. I'm praying. Like, come on, just live in the real world, Tim. Stop praying and just go with the rest of the sentence. It's the most racist thing you've ever seen. And oh, by the way, Tim, that's your fucking team. You've dedicated your life to service for that man's agenda.
Yep.
What the fuck are you doing? Why?
Right.
Why?
Right. To take away your sister's rights, your mother's rights. Your extended family is hurting because they're black in America, and you're doing everything you can in Trump's agenda to help just destroy the black experience in America? How do you look yourself in the face and say, yes, I'm doing what's right when he puts out this kind of shit? Right? Black MAGA. How do you explain it, Black MAGA? Right? Terrence K. Williams, one of the biggest jackasses on the Black MAGA patrol, said, this is just hypocrisy. This is fake outrage. Where are they when the when the leftists in Minnesota are calling ICE agents the N-word? Really? That's your defense for this racist shit from this racist president? You still can't see it. Black MAGA to me is the most disgusting. Black MAGA, right, is the people that said, hey, there's free food on the boat when they were picking up slaves. Free food on the boat. Come get some. Actually, the joke is, it's fried chicken on the boat. That was the joke when I first heard it. It's just disgusting. And that's who Black MAGA is. The turncoats, the people who sold their people out.
But if Tim Scott voted against Trump just once in the Senate, he'd be on the next meme. He'd be on the next racist meme. His head would be on one of those things. Like he's one vote away from the N-word from Trump, right?
Yep.
That's how tenuous his position is. Why does he want to be there? He's not in the club. He's just being used, and
he's a pawn.
Yeah, he's a pawn in a white supremacy game.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that was disgusting. I do think in the end it's hurt Trump. I think he's starting. I think America is catching up. It's just catching up, right? Which is going to lead to my segue of what am I sick and tired of, which is headlines that go under the heading of MAGA melts down ... because. And I'll never click on the story because I don't care why MAGA is melting down. But MAGA has a meltdown, quote, every day over something that is just simple, basic life and American life for the rest of the country. Today, the MAGA meltdown was because our U.S. Olympic winter athletes are doing all kinds of anti-ICE protests, and MAGA's melting down because the athletes representing them are actually making a statement as they compete in front of the world. So MAGA's melting down because their own people disagree with them and are willing to say it on the stage. I'm loving what they're doing. But, MAGA melted down over Bad Bunny. MAGA melts down over mermaids that aren't, white enough for them, right? I mean, MAGA melts down at the latest joke on SNL or by Jimmy Kimmel, right? Like every day MAGA is melting down over something that the rest of us view as mainstream America that we actually kind of believe in. So like stop with the MAGA meltdowns. It's same as like the Trump is enraged. Trump's enraged every fucking day. He's a hateful person. So he's going to be enraged every single day. He's enraged anytime someone disagrees with him. He's enraged now because shit's going against him, because the Epstein file story makes him look like a pedophile rapist.
There seems to be some evidence.
Yeah. Or that others are calling him a raging racist. Or that calling him corrupt. He's enraged at all these things. Right? So I'm tired of the MAGA melts down or the Trump is enraged headline. Put those away. Nobody fucking cares anymore.
Hell no. If the shoe fucking fits, wear it. But yeah, and speaking of the headlines, what's happening at the Washington Post is utterly ridiculous and in lockstep with the authoritarian playbook, right? You're cutting a third of the staff. I mean, you're gutting the place. You're getting rid of your sports section. The Washington Post sports, like people read the Washington Post sports section from all over the world, and you're getting rid of it. But you had 70 million to fuck off on a Melania film that was absolutely trash, that nobody went to fucking see. The people who bought tickets didn't even go fucking see it. So, yeah, shut the fuck up. You people are literally responsible, right? You're part of the apparatus. Jeff Bezos, fucking Zuckerberg, obviously Musk, Peter T. We know who the people are.
And Ellison with CBS and Barry Weiss.
Ellison, Barry
So
Weiss, absolutely.
yeah, I mean they're playing along with authoritarianism. It's they're playing along with the white supremacy movement. Um, you know that the story today, which I will refuse to read, but I just saw the headline, but I will not click on a story and give them a click they could monetize, which was framed as Colin Kaepernick being forgotten.
Nope.
And my take was like, in what circles?
Exactly.
Not forgotten by me. How about the
Not
fact, why
forgotten.
didn't that headline say, like, Colin Kaepernick told us exactly who America is 10
Showed
years
up.
ago? And white America and MAGA world
Yep.
did everything they could to shut that down. And the complicit media twisted his message
All day.
to paint a different narrative.
Yep.
When was anyone more correct and foretold the future of where we were going when he was just talking about police brutality and not caring about America not caring about the deaths of unarmed black men? Was like, it was a kind of, his message was pretty basic, simple, and obvious, and
And
it had to
it
be
had
suppressed, and the media helped
the
do
media
it.
was complicit and went along with it in lockstep, Brock. He told you what it was about. He said this is in protest of the killing of unarmed black Americans. He told you it had nothing to do with the military, it had nothing to do with our soldiers and their service. The only thing the soldiers had to do with it was that a former Army Ranger or Navy SEAL told them, why don't you just take a knee
Yeah.
instead, you know? And that's the only piece that had to do with the military.
Yep.
But yet America is okay with black people dying in the streets. And I think that's what happened in Minneapolis because black America didn't show up. And it would have been okay for them to declare martial law and come out and start killing black Americans. We kind of would have been okay. We've been used to seeing that. I think as America, that's how America was built, right? On the backs of black Americans. We built this shit for free. Still haven't had our reparation. Never got the 40 acres in the mule. Some got some acres, some got a half a mule. Weren't able to keep it. So, when we talk about, the media's role in the demise of our democracy, they have played a huge role. I mean, if it's 51%, the 83 billionaires, it's 49% the media, right? Because the image of the black man and black woman have been just brutalized over the years, over the decades, over the past, since D.W. Griffith in Birth of a Nation played at the White House. That was screened at the White House. And so ever since then, we have always been the villain. Right? And I mean, look at the crack epidemic and look at how black American women were portrayed, right? As crack fiends, as junkies, as the worst of the worst, who would abandon their homes and children just to get high.
Yep.
That was the narrative. And
Yep.
it's stuck.
just for a
And
hit.
it's stuck.
But Mark, with all of that, right? If I mean, it took 10 years later from Kaepernick for two white people, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, to get shot to
Right.
change the narrative in America, and now Colin Kaepernick foretold ICE agents being on the streets,
Yep.
killing
Yep.
unarmed brown people, the names that most of us don't remember and didn't get highlighted,
Yep.
but the two white people changed the narrative on that entire
Whole
topic.
thing.
But
Yep.
I mean, I probably don't speak for most of white America on this, but I absolutely would welcome. I consider Colin Kaepernick one of the great civil rights leader of my time,
No
and
doubt.
he is certainly welcome back in the conversation any day he chooses to take on that role again. He doesn't have to because he took so much fire. His career was taken away by white America, by MAGA world,
Yep.
because
He
and maybe
sacrificed
by
his
all
career.
white people because we didn't stand up enough for him. Um, so, but let's not pretend like he's forgotten. Forgotten by fucking who? The Washington Post,
Right.
as a part of their sweep to placate the Mad King so Jeff Bezos can build more fucking data centers somewhere. Come on,
Right.
stop the bullshit.
Well, remember what Donald Trump did the first thing he got in office for 2.0, right? He started eliminating Black history, right?
Yeah.
Scrubbed it off the government websites, wanted to get it out of the Smithsonian, wants to shut down the National Museum of Black History. So why do we think this is any fucking different? You know, we see what you're doing. Jeff Bezos, you're not that fucking smart, right? You married a gold digger, bro. You married a jock chaser. Okay? She got a body count, bro. And I don't care. I mean, that's how pissed I am. I'm going after his wife. I don't care. I don't care because, it shows the fact that he's just looking for a trophy wife, and his character is not beyond reproach. Like, we can judge him on the actions that he's taken, right? Just think about the number of lives he's impacted, with one phone call. Yeah, get rid of a third of the staff and eliminate the sports department. I need to make some money back.
Yeah,
Boom.
let's just roll back and just go like, why exactly did Jeff Bezos buy the Washington Post? Why?
Exactly.
Why the fuck you buy it?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't to preserve history, right?
It wasn't because democracy dies in darkness, right? Their fucking motto.
Right.
It
Right.
wasn't because of Woodward and Bernstein. He wanted to make sure they were cracking the next story and doing great investigative work and talking truth to power. He wanted to be a part of the propaganda network, right? Like what? How could he manipulate it for his benefit?
His benefit. Right. So he can
So
make some money and we could destroy the democracy and these 83 fucking asshole billionaires can take over.
yeah, I look forward to the day when the article is Jeff Bezos forgotten, right?
No doubt. No
Because
doubt.
Jeff Bezos melts down over
Yeah.
whatever the topic du jour is on that
But if you
front.
want a Colin Kaepernick jersey, you can get one on Amazon. How ironic is that?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. So before we get out of here, Brock, just want to give you an opportunity to, say a few words if you'd like to. You don't have
Well,
to.
yeah. First of all, look, I thank you for your comment. I know this is maybe for anyone who's stuck this long, it can get a little personal. We do try to talk about things in black and white, but new viewers may not know. We're just old friends, old high school friends. So my mom passed away the other day. The funeral will be Monday. I went back to my hometown, spent the last couple of days there. Hadn't been there in a while, the old neighborhood. But Mark knows it well. Spent a lot of time. Mark spent a lot of time at my house. Mark knows my mother. He knows the whole story. So we are friends at the heart. Appreciated
No doubt.
your outreach and your kind words. But as we do talk in black and white, I think I kind of sort of encountered something that touches so many people, that crosses all races and cultures, is that, my mom had dementia. And it was sad. And it was a sad, and it was, there's a decline, right? And I think dementia is something, because modern medicine is keeping people alive so much longer too, right? We're not dying of other things, so people are getting older, and dementia is just becoming such a bigger part of so many people around our age, certainly lives with their parents. And it didn't strike me like you notice it, right? Everyone notices it, which is why we know everyone around Trump every day is noticing it, right? They're not noticing it.
Yeah,
It
you can't not notice it.
it's obvious. And it's sad because the person slips away before they lose them. So, you kind of lose them before you lose them. But it also struck me as, because this is such a problem, right? Like, it just reminds you when you live it, is how complicated healthcare really is, and the healthcare system really needs to be, and how much real thought and smart policy has to go around it. Other countries, of course, have adopted smarter policy than us because we are afraid of the word socialism somehow, where we're all in the same boat. But it's kind of been pretty obvious that that's the best way to deal with healthcare, is for us all to be in the same boat and move to a universal system, because the system can't handle the aging of America and the fact that we live longer. The facilities can't handle it. We've overwhelmed it. There aren't enough people, there aren't enough places, and we have to have smart healthcare policy, not
Yes.
just whatever bantering that, quote, Obamacare sucks and has ruined America, which we all know is bullshit and not true. Like, we need, that's why you have to elect serious people that sit down and think through things. And there's just certain portions of societal life that require serious people. And we don't have serious people. So it's another place that's going the wrong direction, is the American healthcare system. So, I mean, yes, I lost my mother. It's sad and all that, but in just getting a front row view to it just in the last 72 hours, it's like, come on, we have to
We
seriously
got
talk about this topic. And you can't have Donald Trumps of the world running your country, who's a fucking moron and can't even get two sentences deep into the topic. Too complicated. He doesn't have the bandwidth for it. He doesn't have the patience for it. And frankly, he doesn't give a shit
no,
about fixing it, right?
no.
So, I mean, if
And
so, if I have some parting words, that's sort of what has come to me just in the last few days.
well, exactly. And Brock, you're right. When we talk about this in black and white, it does unite us. My mother is experiencing the effects of dementia, and it's a rapid decline. It's hard to watch, and it is so noticeable, and and so sad, and the care for which they need, a person undergoing dementia, is so expensive. Like, I don't know, like, how like an average family can afford the kind of care that's required. Like, the kind of care that's required is you're almost priced out
Yeah, it's
as
crippling.
a
It's
middle
crippling,
American.
and they're drain. They're going to drain every dollar that
Yes,
that person has left, and
yes, and that can't be the goal of our healthcare system, um, because it all comes to an end, right? And the healthcare industry for geriatrics is booming right now, because of the baby boomers, and we're right on the edge of that. Um, and they're all retiring, they're all getting sick, they're all dealing with, health challenges, right? From the crappy food, the shitty food that we eat, and all the preservatives that are giving us cancer and adding to our dementia, and um, the hormones that's going in the chicken, and all the byproduct. Our pork is not allowed to be sold in some countries because
Mhm.
of the shit that we put in it to make it grow faster so we can have more bacon and more pork chops. It's fucking ridiculous.
Because we don't share the burden of this.
Exactly.
And as people live longer, it's just obvious that you can see how elders in a family can like drain all the financial resources of the family, and then
Yep.
because they're living
Right.
by staying alive, and it hurts the younger generations in the family because the resources aren't there for their educations and opportunities, right? Where the money should be going into the future, to be honest, is going to be drained, and it's it's an inevitable outcome. So we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna have to face and address this across all cultures, all races,
Right.
everyone, because it's just gonna touch everyone. It's not discerning. It's not discerning, right? It touched your family, touched mine. Like boom.
Yep.
We ain't the only two by a long shot, right?
Not at all. And you can go to any senior care community and see that you can run, but you can't hide from dementia. So, well, I'm glad you're back, my friend.
All right, appreciate it.
Glad you're doing well. And, I'm glad you're a friend. You know,
Thank you. Same here.
absolutely.
Appreciate the kind words and the support and helping me get through it. um, but yeah, we'll be all right. Sad,
Absolutely.
but
And I'm around if you need me, my
support.
brother.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.
Same.
I will talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Peace.